Aloha friends, and welcome back to our channel. Today I wanted to take you along and show you kind of a tour of our property and see what we have done so far. But mainly I wanted to make this video so we can compare it to the next year's video and see how much we have grown in the last year. So what I'm going to do is walk around the property and show you the main key areas that we have worked on, what it looks like, what needs improvement. I will comment on different things. So if you're up for that, let's go and start from the beginning. Okay, so here we go, starting with the gate. This is our front entrance. And the first thing you see is this long driveway all the way down to the end of our property. Here we have guava tree that was here when we purchased the property. And we put a little swing here for the kids. The fencing on the side, I have to show, it's not really done. This all needs to be replaced, and so is on this side. Here at the base of the guava tree, I have the project that I did several months ago, where I planted some of our Moses basket plants that we actually brought from our old property. Those were pretty much the only plants we recovered from there. This road here is paved until about there, and in the beginning it was all covered with grass and dirt, so it got cleaned up, but it is still in disrepair. On the left here you see a culvert. There's a big pipe there where the water runs off, and usually we don't see any water here, but just yesterday we had a lot of rain and all of this was filled with rushing water all the way through to the other side of the culvert that comes out there. Now moving on, this is just an old cane road or a gravel road, but in the near future, definitely by the end of the next year, we should have a brand new road going right along this old road, and then we can actually fence in our property at the road. By the way, on the left side here you see a lot of tall grass, and we have left this grass here on purpose just to give us more privacy. And as we get closer to that pile and the container, we'll turn left and you'll see that most of the bulldoze property is there. You can see the kids playing in the distance on the mulch piles. Here to the right we have an ocean view, and it gets even better when we get a little bit up the hill. This is our neighboring lot, and I clearly can hear all kinds of pigs in the bushes, squealing and growling, because this is not a fenced-in area, so this is the pig city. Now here you see 3 mulch piles that we got recently, and we've been using a lot of them, and the kids like to play on top of them. Right, kids? Yeah. And here I'm panning back to where I came from. There's the gate. And now let's keep on going. Here we have a 40-foot long container that actually opens up on both sides, where we store all of our tools and our mower and all kinds of things that we need in developing the property and taking care of it. Here beyond the container you can see a beautiful nature. There are some cow pastures and trees. There's the cow pasture again, but it is actually on the other side of a very large gulch. And this gulch is probably 300 feet deep, and it's quite wide, but we just love how open this is now. Instead of just seeing lots of trees like this, we can actually see the ocean from here. Got a few palm trees and a beautiful pasture. In the evening the cows really like to come on this side of the pasture, and we can see hundreds and hundreds of cows here. It's so beautiful. Here along the side of the gulch we put big tree trunks, the trees that we cut down, just so it will be like a guardrail and nobody falls down there. Now coming back this way we see the container again, and right after the container we have our main driveway. On this side of the container we've got some pallets that we got for free, and we might be using them for like a composting pile or some other little projects that we need to make, maybe a chicken coop. Okay, and here we go. Here is our driveway. We've got a cinder pile on this side. We're using a lot of cinder in planting our trees and plants. And right ahead of us is our gate and our temporary fence that goes along this way. So this is the actual area that God bulldozed. It's more than half of our property. And as you can see, it's all getting very green. There are some houses far in the distance. Everybody here has about 10-11 acres, so people are quite spread out. Now, I don't know if you can tell from this video, but our property is a little bit on the slant. It's a very gradual slope. And right here is where the house bed is for the future house. As we're standing here on our house bed, to our right, we're going to have a smaller fruit tree orchard. And to our left, we'll have a bigger tree orchard. Here at our big tree orchard, we already planted several trees. This is our first tree we planted, and then you can see there are more trees on the first row here and more up all the way there. We've got an avocado tree, Mami sapote, we planted yesterday. We have another kahalu'u avocado, which is my favorite, a grafted young jackfruit, and another breadfruit tree. On this side, we have 2 rows of various bananas. In a small tree orchard, we started a taro patch, which we only did about half of it. If you look right behind us, our neighbors had a taro field. And so these taros actually came from that field. And now we'll be planting a new generation on our property. One of the first trees we planted in a small tree orchard is Meyer lemon. We also got our favorite Mineola tangelo. And we have 2 of these trees. One still needs to be planted. Here is another row of trees, as you can see by the pink flags. And here's the other one. This tree right here, I believe, is the black sapote, or the chocolate pudding fruit tree. Here on the side of our property, we have a huge tree stump that we couldn't totally remove. So we left it and decided to make a little bit of a flower garden here. I planted nasturtium right inside of the hollowed out tree. And my daughter planted these zinnia flowers all around. Orange ones, pink ones, and many different colors. And from the stump, you can see a hill that is going down to a waterway. The water rushes down this way and goes to the neighbor's property and then comes back around into our property again. And we decided to plant this hill with all kinds of edibles. From here you can see there are 4 rows of different plants. We have a row of moringa trees, a row of soursop trees, a row of banana trees, and a row of palm trees with some sugar cane in between them. Let me show you a little closer. This is the moringa tree, and it's very nutritious. People use them for their leaves, and sometimes you can use the seeds as well. Our soursop trees are still very small, but they already have new branches and leaves coming out. They grow very fast and have a delicious fruit. We've got a goldfinger banana here. And actually we have a whole row, about 8 of them. And I just want to mention that all of these plants are transplanted in the last month or so. And it's amazing that they're doing so well. Of course, they're a little bit beat up, a little bit shocked, but overall, I think they're doing very good. Here's a row of young palm trees, and in between of them, you see a little bit of mulch. That's where we buried the sugar cane. Like this one right here and the other ones. But in about a month or so, all of them will come up and grow tall. This one here is kind of hard to see, but this is a lilikoi, a Jamaican lilikoi, which is sweet. It's being taken over by weeds, and it looks like there's a caterpillar that's eating it. We'll have to get rid of this caterpillar. But this plant, when it does well, it will go all over this fence and will produce some yellow sweet fruits. Here at the back of the property, we decided to plant lots of bananas, tea leaves, papayas that I will show you in a minute. But also we're planting a podocarpus hedge right here because this is our neighbor, and as you can see, we have zero privacy from them. So here we have some podocarpus that we are still planting, and lots of pineapple starts that need to get into the ground ASAP. We also have some taro starts here that are waiting for us to plant them into the taro patch. But this is what the area looks like right now. And here you can see our cassavas, papayas, and pineapples that made it into the ground. We kind of have a pattern: cassava and 3 pineapples. Cassava and 3 pineapples. On one of our fences we planted a lilikoi. This is pink lilikoi, I believe, or purple lilikoi, which is a passion fruit, and it's a delicious fruit, a little tart, but very nice. And we have several of them along this fence. We have a vine here, a vine there, another one, and the last one. The last one looks the best. Looks like the bugs didn't find it. We have several holes here dug up for podocarpus that I need to work on today because podocarpus takes time to grow. Here we have another tree behind our house bed that we planted, and this is the mulberry. And for those of you who have been following us, saw that we got this mulberry when it was about this little, like from here to the top. And now it's almost as tall as me. This is another small tree, or really a bush, that we planted. Brazilian cherry, or grama chama. Produces sweet little cherries that look kind of like Bing cherries. Here we have our circle garden, or a food island as we call it. And this garden contains all of our 1-year edibles. Basically plants that will produce food within a year or a year and a half. So we have our pineapples, our papaya, our big taro all around it. We have edible hibiscus leaf. Here's a bigger specimen. Some of these plants are getting as tall as me right now. We have more taro and purple sweet potato, papaya. We kind of have a pattern here: papaya, edible hibiscus, another papaya, another edible hibiscus. We actually had cassava growing here, but the pigs came and tore it out, so I planted taro inside of that hole. Here we have some kabocha squash growing. Here's another one, and there's a little one. Let's see. We have purple sweet potato here. Here's our first flower. Also have some basil and Brussels sprouts. I've never grown Brussels sprouts, so this is pretty exciting. And so this is our edible garden. And if I back up a little bit right there, I'm currently working on 2 more circles. This one already has a centerpiece in a form of a banana. You can kind of see the circle. And right here, I don't know, you can tell, there is a smaller circle. So in the end, there will be 3 circles in total. 1, 2, and 3. And now we're heading back to our hammock and the palm trees. This right here is our neighbor's property. And I don't know if you can tell, but there are 2 beautiful horses right there. If I zoom it in, and I just love watching the horses. It's just so peaceful to be here. These were planted accidentally by our neighbor as he was planting all of his palm trees here, lining up his driveway. He threw the ones that he didn't like on this side, thinking that they would die. And they actually, most of them did, but 2 of these survived and they're thriving. And in fact, we have been blessed to eat off of this tree. The coconuts, the coconut water, the coconut meat are just wonderful. And this tree right here is still too young to bear, but aren't they just perfect for a nice little spot for a hammock to rest at the end of the busy day? Well friends, we're back where we started, at the palm trees. It's a beautiful little spot, one of my favorites here on our property. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the tour. I know it's not perfect, we're just starting, but I really want to compare it to what it will look like next year. So if you're new here and you would like to follow our journey and see where it will take us, then go ahead and subscribe. If you like this video, give us a like, and I'll see you next time. Aloha and God bless.